What's going on, everybody? This is Jesse James. I'm going to do a little painting tutorial. So I got this wall all sanded, mudded, sanded, and ready to be cut. Got our floors masked off with rosin paper and blue tape. And then for extra safety measures, drop cloth on top of that. We got our paint here. This is Diamond 350 interior flat. It's pretty good stuff. Got our cut can and our brush. I like to use these cut buckets. They're about a half a gallon. Obviously you hold nowhere near that much, but I like them because they have a magnet right there, and they also have this little setup for a mini roller. So take a 5-in-1. You should always have one of these in your pocket at all times. Crack this open, and we'll pour a little bit in our cut bucket. It's kind of tough to do with one hand. There we go. Got some in there. Always want to keep your brush wet at all times. That'll still harden up, and you'll be going through brushes left and right. You can get some brushes pretty cheap. Some are about $25 or so, $21 depending on where you go. And I mean, you can get some as little as $8. Just depends on what you're looking for a brush for. They all do something different. They all have their benefits, pros and cons. So I'm gonna get some paint going here. Typically I would hold this in one hand at all times and paint in the other, but I don't have a GoPro at the moment, so this is how I gotta do it. So it's really about maneuvering your brush. See, I like to start out here and then work my way into it, get my line. Let's see. This is gonna be an accent wall, so I have it all primed, ready to go. So I have to make sure that my cut is straight. If it bled over right now, it's okay because the wall is going to be painted. But eventually, one of these walls are going to have a finished coat on them. So you cannot bump the other wall. So afterwards, you get a line. You want to go about a foot or so. And then I like to dunk my brush again and take it up. Get all this excess. Lay it off, as they call it, and make sure you have a nice solid line for the guy coming behind you to roll, because he'll roll as tight as he can to the wall, but you don't want to touch the wall. So make that nice and wide for him. Makes his job a lot easier and goes a lot faster. When I dunk my brush, I like to just kind of tap it on the sides. I like to leave one area. Well, if I'm using a cut can, like an actual can, I'll use one area, keep it clean to lean my brush against. Here I have my magnet, so I keep this area right here clean, and then I pat the sides or the front. So again, we'll take our brush. I like to come up just start outside and kind of work your way in. And this would be so much easier with a GoPro. Go back, lay it all off, continue my line down. As you can see, we got a nice solid line going up. And then, you know, when you got big rooms, you got a couple of guys, you know, like a 3-man crew could take down a house pretty fast. You know, you get one guy cutting the top, another guy behind him cutting the base, and then you have a third guy, if you have a third guy, rolling behind the both of you. Things go very fast that way. If you're working by yourself, like I do quite a bit, I like to cut the base first because I'm just a lot faster at cutting the base as opposed to the ceiling. I don't like to use a lot of tape. As you can see, we will tape some areas. We try not to, though. I think freehanding is very important as a painter. It's all about a lot of it is about manipulating your brush. So with this particular area, typically I may, if it was much smaller, I would tape the box. Or the trim, really doesn't matter. In this specific scenario, our trim is being painted, hasn't been painted yet. So if you're to nick the trim, it's okay. It'll actually work as a prime coat for the trim. Because if I remember correctly, this trim was green, along with the wall colors in some rooms. So I'm working on the base and the bottom of this windowsill right now. Before I move on, I'll take this up to the top of the window, and then I will continue down the baseline. So I'll go a little bit farther now. Get all this excess. I mean, your paint is really tracing. Like, look, I just traced around this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just painting a line. Okay, so now I'll come up here. And I would start at the top, but I'll have to switch hands. So right now, I'll start right here and just slowly, you don't want to get too much on there, slowly take it down. This is so much easier with a GoPro, good Lord. And then you would take that down and just meet your other line. Like I said before, I like to make sure the lines that you're making are wide for the guy rolling. Dunk this in, give it a couple taps, come back up here. Sorry, to switch hands. Being able to paint with both hands is definitely a plus. I can't do much with my left hand except paint and drive. can hardly write my name, but for some reason I can paint a straight line. Now see, you'll get things like, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm trying to paint and hold my phone at the same time, so getting little things like that, just slowly come back with your brush and go over it. Because the chances are you'll have some excess that you can kind of play with and move it around. Well, I think that's it for this video. It's just kind of tough doing all this with one hand while trying to keep camera angles and everything. So anyway, I'll show you real quick what I'm going to do, and then I'll make a quick video of what it looks like after. So I'm going down, all down here, doing this whole wall. Trim on the windows has been done already. So then I'm just going to go to the end wall in the kitchen there by the washer and dryer, because all of this is going to be an accent wall. Well, give you guys more here in a bit. I'm going to get this wall cut, and I'll start another video before I roll it. And then so I can kind of walk you guys a little bit through that and tell you my process and how I do that.